To the show, it's EFC weekend. Mixed martial arts makes a welcome return with mouth-watering clashes all lined for you this afternoon. It's always fascinating to look at how MMA has displaced boxing in popularity. For a long time it used to be mainly in South Africa, but it seems it's the case now worldwide. How did this come about? That's our focus this afternoon. I'm Arthur Bonakawa and this is Inside Sport. All right, it's a very good afternoon. I'm Arthur Bonakawa. As I mentioned at the top of the show, it's great to host you in South Africa and across the African continent. I know that winter is coming really fast down here in South Africa, but I promise to keep you warmed up for the next 30 minutes. Can you believe it? EFC 85, 420 days after the coronavirus pandemic forced the sports that we love so much to come to a halt, is back this afternoon. Well, where's the address? 22 Witkoppen Road in Polshof at the EFC Performance Institute. And of course, this is the first of the 2021 fight cards that we get to see from mixed martial arts. I am going to be joined this afternoon by Graham Cartmel, who's the EFC VP and matchmaker. The president of the organization is Cairo Howard, and I've got the rest of the faces of EFC to chat to us about the prelims that will be getting underway very shortly in Johannesburg, South Africa. But I've got my partner in crime in studio with me this afternoon as we have a brief chat about EFC and combat sports in South Africa. He's known amongst the sports guys as M&M. How's it going, Mr. Matupi?
It's going, Arthur Bonakawa, as you are, of course, known as the Congo Fire. And I want to touch on that point that you mentioned earlier on in your intro about how mixed martial arts is essentially trying to replace boxing. And that is why perhaps over in UFC we're seeing the likes of Conor McGregor stepping into the boxing ring with the likes of Floyd Mayweather. So that makes it for a very interesting point as to would we ever see something like that with EFC and South African boxing. I know South African boxing at the moment is still trying to do all it possibly can to ensure that they get back into the ring, and not only get back into the ring but get fans to attend as well. And we've seen it coming back nicely and slowly, as we're now seeing EFC finally coming back with EFC 85, and as you mentioned, of course, a roster and a menu that is quite mouth-watering. But that, for me, becomes a very interesting conversation that I'm hoping that you guys, during the conversation throughout the course of the show, can have about, do you ever see EFC fighters going into the boxing ring and fighting professional boxers, or are they trying to essentially keep the two exclusive?
Of course they've got to be exclusive, Marina. I definitely believe with combat sports fans, they definitely want to have a differentiation between mixed martial arts and boxing. So super excited, Marina, that you did mention that one of the guys that must speak, obviously, about the EFC 85 coming to life today is the president of the organization. That is, of course, Cairo Howard and Graham Cartmel. Cairo, I believe that you're with us. Thanks for joining us on the show. It's great to see you. And Graham, as I look at the both of you, hey, it looks like you're in your uniform, getting set, of course, for the event that's taking place in just a few minutes. Guys, your hard labor is finally coming to manifestation. It must feel great that EFC 85 is finally taking place.
Thanks for that, Arthur. We are super excited to be back in action again. It's been a long layoff for us, so this is it's a big day.
Awesome. I mean, Graham, why are you so quiet over there? You were very vocal at the weigh-ins just yesterday. Okay.
Man, I'm just predicting that we're about to do this. It's been 14 months, 420 days since we've been we're watching live MMA, and we're just about to switch on, open the cage door and watch these guys walk in and throw down. I just can't believe it. It's incredible.
I mean, one of your 6 prelims begins in just a few minutes. I mean, for the fighters, they've waited to return back into the hectagon. What is the feel like from most of your athletes, of course, with the EFC, Graham?
I was downstairs now, just in the back change rooms, and everybody's supercharged. Everybody's relaxed. I think that it's just one of those things. They've been training for so long and working on this for so long in their private capacity at their own home gyms. And then in the last 6 to 8 weeks, they've sacrificed everything just to be a part of this event. So for them now, it's coming together. And you can feel that. They're just like complicit with, this is the vision. Let's put on a great show. Let's sell this thing. Let's put on fights that everybody wants to watch. So, yeah, it's a very cool feeling downstairs in the change room, I tell you.
operative word you said that, Graham, is putting on something that everyone wants to watch. And in particular, this question is directed to you, Cairo. EFC 85 being the benchmark for the fight cards in 2021. I mean, African MMA fans have been spoiled for choice in terms of the mixed martial arts events that EFC has put out year in and year out. I mean, what are you promising the MMA fans for the rest of the year?
We're just going to do what we've been doing for the last decade, which is putting on the best fights that we can, putting on the best show that we can. Really, we've been honing our product, obviously, now into this COVID situation, but we've got more TV broadcasters than ever before, and we've got amazing athletes on our roster. We've got some old stars that have come back. We've got a whole bunch of new talent coming through, so the fans can look forward to what EFC always delivers, which is just unbelievable entertainment.
Fantastic, Cairo. I mean, the visuals on the screen are saying the tournament's taking place in a bubble, and yesterday it was mentioned that after the prelim bouts take place, some of the fighters will have to evacuate the venue. Of course, the EFC, they're taking very serious, strict measures that are COVID-19 related. Cairo.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're following all the strictest protocols that you can. Obviously, we're having no supporters at this event, which is the first time for us in our organization's history. So it'll be a bit different for the athletes competing, not to have, their family and their fans and supporters here. But we know that everyone's going to be watching on television, so we're expecting a bumper TV audience for tonight.
Fantastic. Graham, a bumper fight card, the mastermind behind putting the guys together and the girls as well. I was going to say that it was not going to be a complete fight card without having the ladies, of course. Graham, just your thoughts and your vision behind EFC 85's fight card.
Let's kick it off. Everybody's in, everybody's invested. These athletes are part of our business. And I wanted to showcase exactly that we're putting athletes out there that want to be a part of this business long term, growing mixed martial arts in Africa long term, and taking over. I mean, to be brutally honest, we have produced some of the best sports content ever in African history. Forget about just the sport. EFC is the most watched brand across Africa, and our athletes embody that. And every single time we put on a fight card, we are heading in that trajectory. That is, we want bigger, better, and it's just stellar that we're able to do this. So,
I mean, having mentioned that, Graham, there's obviously been an adjustment to the business model of EFC. You've even hashtagged it, I am in. And in particular, speaking about, those that are external members or a part of the mixed martial arts landscapes, like investors, the public, or even the fighters can now get a share of the business. What's that about? So I should probably direct this question to Cairo, because he's the man to answer that.
He's not the brains of the organization, eh?
So, thanks, Arthur. Effectively, we've launched a campaign called EFC Invested, where we are listing 20% of the equity in EFC. So athletes, supporters, and investors can now become shareholders in the business. So all the competitors taking place tonight on the EFC 85 fight card, they're getting paid part of their purse in cash, like they used to be, but a big part of their purse is actually being paid in equity in the business, so they're going to be shareholders in the company, in EFC, which is fantastic. And then the same from a supporter point of view, the supporters have the opportunity to now invest in shares in EFC and be part of Africa's growth story.
Oh, happy with that. Cairo will return shortly here on the show as we continue to break down EFC 85, the preview to, of course, Faiz versus Chifumbu. I'm excited. I know the South African and African MMA fans are as well. You're watching Inside Sports on eNCA. We'll be back shortly.